Have you ever wondered why more disasters like these keep coming and getting worse? Or why the weather feels more stronger and extreme? Climate change is not just an environmental issue. It is a social and moral problem that affects the poor and marginalized the most. Catholic social teaching calls for responsible stewardship of the earth and action against climate injustice. To define climate change, it refers to long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns, primarily driven by human-induced global warming from greenhouse gas emissions. Greenhouse gas emissions from burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial pollution all contribute to climate change. By increasing the concentration of heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere, these human activities reduce the Earth's ability to absorb carbon dioxide and worsen global warming. Climate change leads to stronger typhoons, rising sea levels, and extreme heat, all of which have devastating effects on the Philippines. These impacts cause flooding, land loss, and threaten agriculture, food security, and water supply. The poor and marginalized communities are often the hardest hit by climate change, as they lack the resources to recover from natural disasters when extreme weather events strike. These vulnerable groups lose their homes, livelihoods, and are often displaced with little to no safety net or support. They bear the brunt of climate change impacts despite contributing the least to its causes, making their suffering a clear example of environmental injustice. Addressing climate change is not just an environmental issue, it is a matter of justice. Those who have contributed the least to greenhouse gas emissions, such as impoverished communities, are often the ones who suffer the most. Catholic social teaching emphasizes the need to care for creation and practice solidarity, urging us to protect the environment and stand with the poor and vulnerable, ensuring that everyone's rights to a sustainable and dignified life are upheld. In the Laudato Si, Pope Francis calls for a responsible and sustainable approach to caring for our planet, emphasizing that we are stewards of creation, not its masters. He urges us to protect the earth and its resources, recognizing the interconnectedness of all life and need to address environmental degradation with a sense of responsibility and urgency. Catholic social teaching stresses a preferential option for the poor, highlighting the need to prioritize the most vulnerable communities who suffer disproportionately from environmental harm. The Church advocates for these marginalized groups, ensuring that their voices are heard in climate discussions and pushing for policies that protect their rights to a safe and healthy environment. The Church has taken active steps to respond to the climate crisis by supporting eco-friendly initiatives such as sustainable practices in churches and Catholic organizations. It also calls for stronger laws and policies to tackle climate change, advocating for systematic change to promote environmental justice and safeguard creation for future generations. To address climate change, individuals can reduce their carbon footprint by adopting eco-friendly habits and supporting sustainable practices. Communities can join environmental movements and advocate for climate justice policies, while students play a key role by raising awareness through education and volunteering for climate-related initiatives. Together, these actions contribute to a collective effort to protect the environment. The Church, through Catholic social teaching, calls for stewardship of creation, preferential care for the poor, and active participation in climate action, urging individuals, communities, and students to reduce their carbon footprints, advocate for policy change, and support sustainable practices. The Earth is our home and it is our moral duty to protect it. How will you take part in the fight against climate change?